Does your metabolism suck? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you want off the diet roller coaster? Do you wish there was a simple solution to get you healthier, smaller, and have more energy? Hi friends, I'm Jolene, a nutritional therapy practitioner, a wife, a furry guardian, and non-bendy yogi. Like you, I spent years chasing skinny instead of health, until I finally learned there was more to getting healthy and smaller than just eating less and moving more. Welcome to Holistic Health Made Simple podcast, where I share all the tips, tricks, and science to set you free from the overwhelm of diet culture and the frustration with the ever-changing health rules. I go beyond the calorie and diet dogma to equip you to be healthy through simple changes to real food, mindset, and lifestyle. Are you ready to learn how to tailor your journey to you and your current health for solutions that are broken down into simple steps to make it easier to implement? Results that are undeniable, like more energy, improved mood, better sleep, and fat loss? This is the podcast for you. Pop in those headphones, take a deep breath, and let's get healthy. Hey there. Today's topic, the power of belief. You've heard that saying, whether you believe you can or you believe you cannot, you are correct. It's time to figure out how to make sure that we are using this power of belief to succeed. The average person has a lot of thoughts per day. Now there's two camps of research. One says we have about 6,000 thoughts, and the other one says we have 60,000 thoughts. Either way, it's a lot of thoughts per day. And sadly, 80% of those thoughts are negative. And then 90% are the same thoughts we thought the day before. So we are actually bombarding ourselves with the same negative thoughts over and over again. Now, the good news is many suggest we can turn this around. And the concept or the idea is based off of the placebo effect. I'm pretty sure you've heard the term placebo effect, or at least you've heard of placebo when people are talking about clinical trials of medicine, that one person gets a placebo, one gets the medicine. But let's explore it a little bit deeper. So it's a phenomenon where the individual experiences actual real improvements in their health symptoms or overall health, even when they're not given the therapeutic drug or the value. They have no therapy given to them, yet they still have this improvement. So why does it happen? It's because the mind is so powerful that when we believe in something, our body often follows suit. One of the first to document the placebo effect was English physician John Haygarth. He set out to show that the high cost of Perkins tractors, which was a popular medical treatment at the time, was unnecessary. Perkins tractors were basically metal pointers that were supposedly able to draw out disease. So he concocted dummy wooden tractors and compared them to a set of alleged active metal tractors, and then published his findings. It was in the book The Imagination as a Cause and as a Cure of Disorders of the Body. That was the book he published. The wooden pointers were just as useful as the expensive metal ones. And by useful, I meant as effective, thus proving the placebo effect, or at least one of the first real demonstrations of the placebo effect. Many were surprised at how powerful the imagination was when it went to influence diseases. So thus, this is our first example. Now let's bring it a little bit forward to World War II. Henry Beecher was an anesthesiologist and pain therapist on the battlefront in Italy during World War II. He noticed that there was no correlation between the intensity of pain experienced by soldiers and the severity of injuries. During the war, he often had to use basically saline solution in place of morphine because they would run out so often. So he would tell the soldiers that he was giving them morphine or other painkillers, even though he was just injecting them with saline solution. Many of them responded to the saline solution the same way they would have responded to the morphine. The soldiers would basically get stabilized enough to be treated and then sent home for further treatment. So Beecher decided, once he was home back in the States after the war, to try the experiment again. He found without the threat of dying in war, people responded less to that placebo than they did on the battlefield. So he theorized that those on the battlefield knew that an injury would actually send them home, which would make them survive the war. Whereas someone not in a war wasn't very concerned about that. They were more concerned about being able to do activities and loss of wages. So it wasn't a huge concern of survival. So it was the psychology behind it that changed the outcome. It's the belief of what they needed changed the outcome, the power of belief. Those on the battlefield believed that they needed to be stable to get home. Those that just had a minor injury here or some injury here didn't have that urgency to get home. They knew they were going to survive. So they didn't have a deep sense of believing that the placebo was working, even though they didn't know they had the placebo, which is even more fascinating. The question I have is, those same people that did not respond to the placebo effect back in the States when there wasn't a sense of urgency, would they have even responded if they had the real drugs? It's a question. I don't know the answer. There was no studies or no further on that part of it. So let's continue on and explore the mind-body connection. As a holistic practitioner, I often talk about the circle of health, meaning mind, body, soul, spirit. Soul, spirit I kind of put together, but the connection between our whole being. Our whole body is a being, our thoughts are part of it, our belief systems, our emotions. They're all connected together. So we need to be open to the idea that our thoughts and our beliefs and our emotions will all influence our physical health. And sometimes it influences a lot more than we actually realize. So when we can have a positive mindset and we genuinely believe in a treatment or what we are doing, it can actually trigger real physiological responses. Kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. As of right now, researchers have not figured out why the placebo effect works and why it works sometimes and not others. We know it's not going to treat a gaping wound, but it is useful in treating symptoms of ailments, relieving ailments, anything that blocks us from doing more. It can motivate us to change behaviors and work harder towards reaching our goals. The idea of what you expect to happen will happen is a huge motivator. There was a published study in Psychology Today by Dr. Langer. He took 7 hotels. He told the workers or housekeepers at 4 of those hotels that their work provided good exercise and met the guidelines for a healthy and active lifestyle. Now, to the housekeepers of the other 3 hotels, Langer said nothing. 4 weeks later, she compared the 2 groups. The women who were not told about the benefits of their work showed absolutely no change in weight, body fat, or blood pressure. Interesting enough, the housekeepers who heard that their work was good exercise, by contrast, lost an average of 2 pounds and 0.5% of their body fat. They experienced a 10% drop in their systolic blood pressure. This was only over 4 weeks. And it was the only changes they made was believing that one was good exercise and one was not. So now let's get into some practical tips on how you can start harnessing the power of the placebo effect, or the power of your mind is really what it is. How do we harness this power that our mind has over our body? If you know anything about Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, you'll understand it's mostly about changing your belief system. Dr. Joe Dispenza was seriously injured, and he believed he would heal, and he did. Go look him up. It's quite a fascinating story. Now, many of you are going to think this is a little woo-woo, and it kind of is, but our brain is so powerful. Our bodies are big balls of energy that are interconnected, so our belief system truly affects whether we get better or not. Your mind is where it's at. Look at all the info I just gave you based on the placebo effect. That was the mind overriding the body and telling it was going to heal, and it healed. Now, changing the way we think about things isn't going to be easy. Changing what we believe is not going to be easy. And I'm not talking about your religious beliefs. Do you always fail at diets? Do you start with the belief that it won't work anyways, but I'll still try it, or the belief that it's going to be way too hard and you won't be able to stick to it? The key is to switch your mind. Switch it to believe that the changes you are going to make now will be lifestyle changes, and they will be successful. Believe that it won't be easy, but you can overcome the hardness of it. Believe that you will learn to pivot so that you will always be successful as you make lifestyle changes, that you reach your health goals, that your body will heal itself. Your body wants to be healthy. It's the things we're doing that aren't making it that way. You have to visit in your mind every day. I am going to stick with my new lifestyle. I'm going to pivot when the body asks for it, and I'm going to be successful and reach my health and weight loss goals. You need to write it down. You need to visit it every single day. Believe it until it becomes second nature belief that you are going to be healthy and I am healthy. You need to keep visiting it over and over again. The journey will take many twists and turns, but if you believe that you will reach success at the end, you will reach that success. Say it over and over again. Keep reminding yourself, even when it goes slightly sideways, remind yourself, that's okay. My body wants to be healthy. I'm going right back to my healthy habits. The placebo effect is the testament to the incredible connection between our mind and our body. Believe in yourself and your ability to improve your health. When you are struggling with your belief in yourself, take my belief in you that you will be successful. I believe you can reach your goals. I know it as if I've seen it already happen. You will reach your goals. And on that note, friends, I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and it provided value that you can take into your own health journey. I would be incredibly grateful if you could help spread the word. Share the podcast with others that will find the information as helpful as you did. It's through your support that I continue to grow and bring you more amazing content. If you have a spare moment, I would truly appreciate it if you could leave a review. Your feedback means the world to me, and it also helps others discover my show. I read every review and take your suggestions to heart, so please don't hesitate to let me know what you think. Remember, you can stay connected with me by following me on Instagram or visiting the website at holistichealthmadesimple.com. I love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out and share your thoughts, ideas, and even suggestions for future episodes. Once again, thank you for being part of my community. Together, let's keep spreading the knowledge, inspiration, and great conversations. Until next time, have a blessed day.